And so what we are saying to you is that as little by little by little by little by little by little by little, you acknowledge who you are and that well-being abounds, your life can get bigger and therefore more expansive and therefore more exhilarating and therefore more fulfilling as you keep up with it. But if your life is expanding, and it is, and you are not making the effort to keep up with it, then you begin to feel like you're feeling. It feels like it's too big, it's gone too far, and I can't catch up with it. And you can catch up with it. You just have to give yourself more leeway, more latitude. You have to give yourself more opportunity to find more ways of soothing yourself into closing that gap.
And so it requires the effort to close that gap.
Say again?
It requires the effort. It requires the effort. It's not, well, allowing or requiring.
And what is the premise or the basis of that effort of closing the gap? What is it? Soothing. Relief.
Right.
Relief is the key factor. Okay. I'm looking for relief.
Right.
I'm looking for relief.
Okay.
And there are a lot of you who have not assigned yourself that right. You've been sort of trained that relief is not what you're looking for, that toughness is what you're looking for. And so you can resign yourself to not closing your gap to a certain extent, and much of the world is that way.
Yes.
They're just resigned to that. That's just the way life is.
Yes.
But when you reconnect with the energy of who you really are, you feel tormented.
Yes.
That's what we've done to you.
Yes.
You are tormented because now,
yes.
You see, here's exactly how it works. So you're pure positive energy. You're non-physical and pure positive energy. And you come forth into this physical experience. Now, as this pure positive energy, you are one vibration offering, this powerful signal that is radiating to the boundaryless universe. So you're offering this signal, and then you're born. And in the moment that you're born, the gap happens. Mm-hmm. And now you go to sleep and it closes. And you wake up and the gap is slightly there. And you go to sleep and it closes. And you wake up and it is slightly there. You go to sleep and it closes. You wake up and you meet someone like your grandmother who adores you, and her attention to you causes you to close your gap. You go to school and your teacher finds fault in something that you've done and your gap is widened. You laugh with your friends and you close your gap. You make fun of a person and your gap is widened. You meditate and you close your gap. You criticize and you widen your gap. So from the moment that you are born and you begin the socialization process, you are beginning to feel the effects of what's happening. Now, why is this happening? It's happening because there are two vibrational vantage points. There's the source energy that is really you, that is always offering this strong signal of who you really are. And then there's whatever it is that you're focused upon out here on the leading edge. So to the degree that you focus on any subject in the way that your inner being is focused, you feel good. That feeling in your belly is a feeling that feels good. It feels like love. It feels like thrilling. It feels like appreciation. It feels like passion. And to the degree that you focus in ways that don't allow that connection, you feel more and more and more of that emptiness, more and more of that disempowerment, more and more of that fear. So those two vibrational points of relativity, the relationship between those vibrational points is what your emotional guidance system is based on. So then most humans have this experience. It happens when they are born with their parents for the most part, and it begins to happen with the socialization, and it really comes on strong as school begins to try to hammer square pegs into round holes. Yes. And so there it is. And so now there are two ways of going about life from this perspective. What we are teaching, and the younger they are, the easier that they understand this, and some of you come along easily anyway. What we are teaching is making every effort that you can to close that expanse between those vibrational experiences. And as you do that, you feel better and better. But what a lot of people have begun to do is they acclimate to this vibration. This is what we were talking about yesterday when we were talking about thought addiction. Yes, they begin addressing life, they talk talk with others who address life that way, and they begin to feel some satisfaction, even though they're not feeling joy, that at least they are in agreement with a lot of other people that agree that things are wrong in the same way that they agree that they're wrong. And there are a lot of people, in fact, almost everybody that you meet is vibrating about over here in relationship to who they really are. In other words, they have sort of acquiesced to the status quo. They're taking life sort of as it comes. The light in their eyes has sort of gone out. Once they get very far past their teenage years, they are, for the most part, sort of rooted in that vibrational place. And they live lives of mediocrity, for the most part.
Yes.
And that is about 95% of the population of your planet are living somewhere about right there.
Yes.
So then, someone like you meets someone like us who begins to explain to you who you really are. And you listen long enough that you begin to get your juices flowing, and you begin to activate something that has not been consciously activated in you for a long time. Now think about this. When you're thinking thoughts mostly about this vibration, even though it is really the stronger vibration of who you are, plays a less and less active role in your experience. And this becomes the dominant vibration. So here you are offering this strong pulsing, and life is reflecting, and it's not that bad because your experience, haven't you noticed that most people in the world, if they're born into poverty, they stay in poverty. If they're born in wealth, they stay in wealth. If they're born in a country that can't raise food, they live along with other people nearly starving. In other words, most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. So if you just observe this, you offer a vibration about this, law of attraction brings you more about that, and people resign to that.